speakers. Thanks everybody for joining us today. I know we haven't had a webinar in a couple months. We skipped January due to the normal chaos that everybody's accustomed with year-end stuff and just a lot of post New Year activities. So we're glad to be back for this year's webinar series, and thanks for joining us today for a deep dive into the Account Reconciliation Manager. In terms of a Finit background here, real quick, most of you on the call are probably familiar with us, but for those of you that aren't, we are a Hyperion implementer. We are a gold partner with Oracle. We really have three different main focuses. We have a focus on the consolidation in the financial close suite of products, which is HFM and all of the other financial close products, one of them ARM today that we're going to discuss. We focus on planning and S-Base as well. That's our fastest growing practice. We now have close to over 50 clients using planning and S-Base that we've helped implement. And then our third practice is our integration practice. So we've been a long time user of formerly Upstream software, which then became FDM when Hyperion purchased them, and now the new version that everybody knows is called FDM EE, the ERPI, kind of the syncing of ERPI and FDM that we focus on as well. In terms of services that we offer a wide range of everything, pretty much everything you'd need with Hyperion and your Oracle EPM products. We do full cycle implementations, we do infrastructure installs, we do server sizing, project management of projects, upgrades, and then the last thing we like to do is focus on, maybe some people call it post-implementation support or whatever it may be, but we offer a Finit Answers service line, which is more for a pay-as-you-go type service model where we help you with issues as they arise, or it's kind of an extra resource to lean on in terms of questions, or maybe you're not engaged in a full-time project but you want some help building reports or modifying rules or things like that. It's a pay-as-you-go model, so it's not something you have to pay a bunch of money for. It's really only on an as-needed basis, but we kicked that off about a year and a half ago or 2 years, and it actually seems to be pretty well accepted. We have quite a few clients that have signed up for that we've been helping maintain their ongoing applications. The last slide kind of covered what we do, and the next two slides here real quick are going to cover why we do it and how we do it. So the big reason why we do it, why is Finit here, one of the things that we jokingly refer to ourselves as geeks. We all like building things. We're solution folks. We like making things and building things and solving problems. So that's really kind of the core why behind we do what we do. Everybody that's at Finit really does enjoy rolling up their sleeves and working with our clients and getting things done. And we think it kind of leads to a really good environment, both for our employees and also for our clients, in terms of building things that are making things better for the people we're working for. So, how do we achieve that? We like to think that we run Finit like a family. We have no external owners or any outstanding debt, which really lets us have the flexibility to focus more on customer solution and maximizing the value we give to clients, as opposed to having to always constantly be focusing on a bottom line. All of our owners are involved in the business. All of our employees are full-time employees. We do not use subcontractors, so everybody that you work with as a Finit client has a vested interest in Finit's success. And lastly, and maybe the most unique thing about us in terms of our competitors, is our compensation model is based on client satisfaction, not with any sort of work or chargeability utilization type bonus. It's really focused on what you have to say about your consultants. And what you get to say about your consultants is based on our Finit values. So these are the three main fundamental values that we run Finit on, and these are also what you get to provide feedback on as a client of ours. We really focus on customer service, the solutions we provide, and then lastly the betterment aspect of it, making Finit a better place, making our clients a better place. And as part of the review process we do semi-annually, we send feedback forms out to our clients and ask them for feedback in regards to these three areas, and that is the basis of what we base our employees' reviews on. We think this customer service model and this model internally has kind of been the main reason that we've been able to deliver 100% customer success for every Finit client. So every project that we've done has been a success. We've never failed a project, and we're pretty proud of that track record. the customary client slide here, going through who all the customers are. And then lastly, a little bit about myself. I'm Jay Hampton. I'm one of the partners with Finit. I've been here for almost 10 years now, working primarily with Hyperion products, and mainly in the financial close suite. So enterprise, HFM, FDM, and now within the past couple of years, the financial close products as well. I live in Cincinnati, and this is, I realized as I was putting the slides together, this is Annabelle's webinar debut. That's my daughter. She turns 1 next week, and I realized I haven't done a webinar since I've had a baby, so it's the first time I actually get to include a picture with my webinar. Last little bit of housekeeping here. If you have questions, feel free to ask them. We'll see how we do on time. Maybe I can take some at the end, but if not, we will make a point to follow up with anybody that submits a question. So the way to do that is it should be in the upper right-hand corner. You should have a little arrow that jets out. You can click on that arrow and type in your question, and it will be saved in there that we'll get at the conclusion of the call if we don't get to them sooner. So for today's agenda, as you all know, the topic is the Account Reconciliation Manager. So we're going to go through a little bit about financial close, which is kind of the overall product suite that ARM fits into. We're going to go through an overview of ARM, kind of walk you through the standard process flow, how the tool works, go through some setup and configuration, go through a lot of the new features that are currently available in the 11.123 release that's out now. It's been out for almost a year, as well as some of the potential new features that are soon to be available in the .500 release that's coming out. And of course, I always say potential because Oracle always has the disclaimer that nothing is final until it's released. So the stuff that we're going to go through is stuff that's slated for the release, but there's always the chance it might not make it in. And then lastly, we'll focus on some lessons learned from previous implementations or things to maybe keep in mind as you look to either expand your existing Account Reconciliation Manager implementation, or for those of you who are thinking about it, some things to keep in mind as you go into a project to implement it. So for starters, financial close, which is the suite of products inside of EPM that ARM is a part of, was released with EPM 11.120. It's part of the EPM suite, which means it's integrated with shared services and workspace, and it's currently made up of 2 products. There's the Close Manager, which is more of a task management solution, and in the materials you'll see that they refer to it as anything that needs to be done during the close process, and it's really kind of a good tracking system to keep track of all the tasks and items that need done from a close perspective, from a compliance perspective, all of that stuff. The other product that's part of Financial Close is Reconciliation Manager, and that's what we're going to focus on today. Just a little bit of word about the roadmap here. They are calling for more modules inside the Financial Close suite. The 2 that are currently on slated for future releases are something they're calling Supplemental Data Manager, which is more of a tool to collect, I guess you'd refer to it as non-normalized data, so things that maybe don't fit into your HFM model, or random spreadsheets that tax collects with a bunch of fields and a bunch of text inputs and things like that. The idea is to build a module to collect that information. And then the other one is a Journal Entry Manager, so kind of a centralized journal entry module that can push journals into HFM applications and ultimately push them back into potentially subsystems or your GL systems or ERP systems. But those are future modules for the suite. So getting into ARM, Account Reconciliation Manager is designed to manage and monitor your global reconciliation process.